Google quietly dropped, and then quickly pulled, an experimental AI app called COSMO on the Play Store, giving us a brief but interesting glimpse into where its on-device AI strategy might be headed. The app was listed as an experimental AI assistant for Android devices, and based on its package name, it appears to come from Google Research. But here's the twist. It was accidentally published on Google's main Play Store account, which is why it got noticed so quickly before being removed. So what exactly was COSMO? At its core, COSMO is an AI assistant designed to run directly on your phone, powered in part by a local model, most likely Gemini Nano. That's why the app was over 1 GB in size. Instead of relying entirely on the cloud, it blends on-device intelligence with server-based AI, and that hybrid approach is key. Inside the app, there's a setting called Fulfillment Model, which lets you switch between 3 modes: fully online, fully local, or a hybrid of both. That suggests Google is actively experimenting with how much AI processing should happen on your device versus in the cloud. The interface itself was very basic, a simple chat UI, but the real story is in the features COSMO was testing. This wasn't just a chatbot. It was designed to act proactively. For example, if you mentioned making plans, it could suggest creating a calendar event. If you talked about a task with a time limit, it would offer to set a timer. If you referenced writing something, it could generate a document for you. There were also more advanced capabilities. Deep research, feature aimed to compile multi-source reports on complex topics. A browser agent could potentially automate tasks online. And features like quick photo lookup and recall suggest the assistant could search your own data, photos, conversations, or past activity to help you find things faster. In short, COSMO was waiting for commands. It was trying to anticipate intent. That's a big shift from traditional assistants. It also included contextual tools like explaining jargon, summarizing conversations, and even providing background on people or events you mention. All of this points toward a more integrated, always-aware assistant that lives across your apps and daily activities. But it's important to remember, this wasn't a finished product. The stripped-down interface and experimental labeling suggests COSMO is more of a test bed than something ready for public release. Google is likely using it internally to experiment with how AI can move beyond reactive chat and become something more embedded in everyday workflows. The accidental release just gave us an early look, and that look tells us something important. Google is heavily investing in on-device AI, not just cloud-based systems. Running models locally means faster responses, better privacy, and functionality even without an internet connection. So while COSMO itself disappeared from the Play Store almost as quickly as it appeared, it hints at a bigger direction. The future Google seems to be building isn't just an assistant you talk to. It's one that quietly watches, understands, and steps in at the right moment to help. And COSMO might be an early prototype of exactly that.